Hey everyone, this is Megan Perkins, and I did my book review over a book called Leaders Eat Last. It is by Simon Sinek, who is a very famous author, and he's also done a few TED Talks that I've listened to. So, I just want to start off with a quote. It's not found until about the middle of the book, but it really kind of sums up and kind of sets the tone for what the rest of the book and this presentation will be about. And when we look at the word manage, the dictionary actually says that it means to control or influence something or someone. On the other hand, the word lead means to show someone or something the way to a destination by going in front of or beside them. I don't know about you, but I think most of us would prefer to have someone lead us versus manage us. The main problem with that is that there are not always leaders that we want to follow. So the book went into a lot of different details, a lot of different stories, and from that I just did 9 key takeaways from the book. And the first is going to be the circle of safety. This is creating safety in the work environment, within the work environment, and also outside of the work environment. And when there is no circle of safety, we force our employees to protect themselves, and because they're spending their energy on that, they're less productive at work. Then we look at empathy, and really this is, in my opinion, the most important takeaway, because we need to trust others, and we can't unless we know that they are actively and consciously concerned about us. So a leader should really get to know everyone in the group, maybe not on a deep level, but just knowing that they have a life outside of work. And when empathy is lacking, aggression, fear, insecurity, and destructive feelings can dominate the workplace. Then we have autonomy, and so really the goal of a leader is to give no orders. When orders are given, what we teach people is how to comply, and what we want them to do is to be able to take responsibility for their actions, and they can't do this when they're just complying. So instead, the leader's job is to ensure that they are training their employees well, and that their employees feel confident to perform their duties. Then we want to create a hospitable environment. This is going to be one where we trust each other, employees and leaders, and we're not pitting ourselves against each other. And in order to do this, we have to create that sense of security inside the circle of safety. When we do this, confidence will increase, and then overall stress in the workplace will decrease because we don't feel like our well-being is being threatened. And then he also goes on to talk about happy chemicals. He talks about endorphins and how they are released in response to stress or fear, and this can mask physical pain with pleasure. Then you have dopamine, and this is the biological reward for our hard work. This is what makes us feel good whenever a boss acknowledges our hard work. And then we also have serotonin, and the author calls this the leadership chemical. This really encourages us to serve those that we are directly responsible for, or to work hard to make other people proud. And then we have oxytocin, and this just helps direct how vulnerable we can be with others. And so when that trust is there, we have more oxytocin. When we have more oxytocin, we're more productive. And then leading for the long term. So he mentions that a problem with a lot of leaders these days are that they simply fill a position or a role, and they don't really plan to be there long because they're just waiting until something that offers them more money comes along. So they can take shortcuts or layoffs and not care about that. But really leading for the long term is going to make a bigger impact, because those people are going to work to make sure that things go well. Which leads into cooperation and collaboration, pretty self-explanatory. Teamwork makes the dream work. They don't really say that for nothing. So when we all work together, I know a lot of us have been in group projects together, and we know that when everyone is cooperating and collaborating, this is what brings out the best end result. Then we have stability. I think we all want to work somewhere where we don't have to worry about being laid off, being cut. And the author really talks about how taking on a leadership position is a lot like being a parent. These people come to you for a job, and you want them to become better people. And so just like a parent wouldn't get rid of their children during hard times, we can't really lay people off under the same conditions, because our job is to provide that stability. And then abstraction just really talks about how some leaders will stand back and they look at people in terms of numbers or statistics or productivity. And so when a person becomes more of, I guess, a numerical number, they don't seem as human. And so then the ability for the leader to do them harm, not maybe physically, but like with layoffs and stuff, kind of increases. So just making sure that you aren't standing so far back from employees that you don't see them as human. And so leadership is the choice to serve others with or without any formal rank. And it's okay for leaders to enjoy the perks of leadership, but they must be willing to give up those perks when it matters. So when it matters, leaders choose to eat last. They put others first. And I agree with so much that this book said, and I love the use of the stories throughout the book to really get the point across and give real life examples. And then future applications. So I came up with a few ways to apply this in leadership positions in the future. Physically, training employees so that they feel confident in their abilities. Lending a helping hand to show that you as a leader aren't above getting your hands dirty, so to speak. Emotionally, just treating everyone with respect, understanding their life situations, and realizing that you can balance grace with leading with authority. And then psychologically, preventing social abstraction, magnify the tangible impacts of the efforts of employees. Thank you.